Hey everybody, welcome to Hey We're Talking. It's me, Scotty D, and Mr. Bob Peel. How you doing, Bob?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing.
How are
okay.
you listeners doing? That's the question.
Yeah, that's what we really want to know.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Sorry to hear.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Yeah, exactly. What else can I play here before we get started?
Dummies!
That's not.
Hopefully you got all your buttons figured out where they're at.
I know I kept
today.
hitting them on accident on Monday. I didn't mean to. I really didn't.
It was kind of rude, to be honest. But
I know, but
whatever.
it was an accident. Please forgive me.
I did not hit her. I did not hit the button.
I know I should have that as well. Every time I think about these things, I need to write them down because I want those. It'd be
Okay,
fun.
to your right,
Yeah.
the listeners left,
Uh-huh.
you have a notepad.
Yeah, it's right here.
So write it down.
Yeah, but then I have to look away.
It's okay. Well, I'll stare at the listeners intently, and you go ahead and write it down.
Before,
I'm staring at them right
hold
now.
on, before we do that.
Who wants coffee? Coffee? Anybody?
If you do want some coffee, go to pneumacoffee.com. That's PNEUMA coffee.com. And you guys have heard us talk about this. Chris Bean is one of our favorites. He's a great guy. He roasts this coffee and sends it to your home. I mean, this is fresh stuff, and it's super tasty. If you have not had your own freshly roasted coffee before and ground that stuff up in a grinder and made some coffee out of it, you are missing out, my friends. So go to pneumacoffee.com, put in the coupon code HWT, 20% off your purchase at pneumacoffee.com. Again, that's 20% off with the coupon code HWT.
I'm making the coffee!
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between like just getting coffee in the store that's already pre-ground and throwing it in your coffee pot.
Yes.
And there's a huge difference when you actually grind it yourself right there.
Way better.
And then make your coffee.
Yeah.
It's such a different experience.
It's so good.
I upgraded to my Encore
this guy's
grinder.
going all in, dude. You're like kicking it now. I saw a picture of your setup, and you're like, you're not in Derek Tant territory, okay? Let's be real here.
Okay.
But I've stepped up my game a little bit.
Yes,
I got
you
my
have.
French press, my pour over, my nice coffee maker, my nice grinder, which costs more than the coffee maker.
It's true. It's true.
But I apparently a nice bird grinder does. They are expensive.
It makes a difference. It really
So
does.
yeah, I mean to have fresh ground coffee and throw that in the coffee pot. Oh,
People,
fun.
if you're not doing this, you're missing out. I'm telling you.
You are. If you don't like coffee, well, you might not be a human.
You're gonna enjoy all the
Fresh fire!
that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at that. All right.
But I will say some people just can't drink coffee.
That's true.
Have you? I don't know if you've been one of these people or anything like that you drink coffee and you kind of get a tummy ache and then things happen.
It can be rough on the gut sometimes.
And that's what I wonder if that's what happened to a trapeze artist
Oh boy.
in Brazil.
I love that you're doing. I love the way you transitioned into this. Go ahead.
You like that segue?
I do love it.
I'm so glad you mentioned it. So, in a Belgian circus.
I just read the headline. Oh my gosh!
It's a typical circus. You've got elephants, you've got lions, you've got magicians, and clowns, and all this stuff. And
They're
they just
magicians.
happen to have magicians.
Yeah, they're magicians in a trapeze thing.
Yeah, it's a full straight up circus, dude.
Okay, go ahead.
So they got all of it. Well, apparently one of the trapeze
This
artists
is so bad.
might have had some coffee in the morning, probably Hills Brothers or something. It definitely wasn't Numa coffee.
No.
And as they were doing their thing, swinging back and forth and flips and stuff like that, they had a little bit of an accident.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And this accident was, well, let's just say a little bit of a liquid accident.
He had the Hershey squirts.
Oh, yes, he did.
That's
And
so
it
bad.
splattered all over 23 people in the audience.
No.
It says
He sprayed his dookie on 23 people?
It said at least 23 spectators were splashed with. It uses the S word, but poop.
They were splashed with what?
Eat shit, Derek.
Exactly.
It's time for another.
Oh, no!
Derek's not here.
He's
You can't
not
get his
here.
hot take.
What is with me and the buttons this week?
I don't know.
It's terrible.
All week. You need to get your buttons figured out, man. So, yes, can you imagine going to a circus? You're there with the family, all cheerful. This is great. What an experience.
Splatters diarrhea.
And then all of a sudden, just liquid poop just comes flying out of the sky and splashes all over you.
It's one thing. Listen, okay, if you don't want to hear about poop, we get it. But I'm just going to be honest with you. It's one thing if your own poop gets on you somehow. That's still terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But someone else's poop? I mean, listen, I know there are people out there that have kids and stuff. I have not experienced this. And I know that baby poop gets on you probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that happens.
But there's something about an adult human poop getting on you that is just like, it's like the worst possible thing.
So here's the thing.
Besides dying, that could happen to you.
Here's the thing. If it's like a relative who's ill or your kids or whatever, it's
true.
like, hey, it's gross. It's terrible.
But still.
And you got to wash it off and all this stuff. But if it's some complete stranger has some flying poop splattering all over you, in your hair, maybe on your lip, maybe in your eye, and it messes up your contact, on your children, who you look at your children, your beautiful daughter with blonde hair, curly hair, you look over and now she's got brown dripping hair and you see the feces dripping off of her nose and eyelashes.
I'm instantly throwing up.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm instantly gonna barf as soon as I see it. I'll puke. Then it's going to be a puke fest, because if one person pukes, there's a really good chance other people are going to puke.
Of course.
This is terrible.
Then everybody starts vomiting, and then Bob, somebody catches on fire, and then everybody's on fire.
Let's go to something that's a little more fun, I would say.
Okay,
I read this story. It's in Sweden. Now, imagine this. For the rest of your life, you're assigned no tasks at work whatsoever. You can watch movies, you can read books, work on creative projects, or just sleep. In fact, the only thing that you have to do is clock in and out every day. That's it. That's all you have to do.
But you have to go to some facility and just basically chill all day.
Yeah.
For 8 hours a day.
Starting in the year 2026, there's going to be one person who gets to do this in Gothenburg, Sweden. This employee will be paid $2,300 a month in US dollars, plus annual increases. They'll have vacation time and a pension for retirement. It's an art exhibit. It's like an artist's project. And this person is just going to show up, and he's the art. He's just going to show up and clock in every day. They're going to start taking applications in 2025. So if you want to get this job in Sweden, it's just, just show up. You show up at a train station every morning, you punch a time clock, and then it lights up this bank of fluorescent lights over a platform, and then that's all you do.
Well, let me ask, does this bank and platforms and all this stuff have a bathroom?
Yeah, you can go to the bathroom. It says you can take a nap. You can do anything. You just have to show up. That's it.
Not bad.
They don't even have to stay in the station all day long. If they want to, they can retire. They can quit or retire and be replaced by another worker anytime they want. That's it. Their employment also, by the way, guaranteed for life. If you want the job and you get it, you can keep it for life.
So can you bring stuff into that room?
You can do anything. You can watch movies. It's telling you. You don't even have to stay there. You just do whatever you want. That's it.
Dude, I'd bring like a drum set and maybe an instrument I've never played before, and
you're just
a computer
pushing it, though,
and learn. And
you're like going to play the drums in the middle of this place?
Why not? It's my place.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
I mean, I'd have to see what the rules are. I wouldn't be opposed to it, though.
It's not a ton of money when you think about it. It's like $27,000 a year. But, dude, you could be making money on the side, bruh.
Oh, I would be. You know how?
How?
I'd be getting sponsorships and wearing brands.
Yeah, that's a great idea,
deals, man.
They do that crap in Europe all the time, man. Like all the soccer teams have crap all over their jerseys.
Yeah. Hey, McDonald's or Jimmy John's or whoever.
I'll wear
me
your
lunch
shirt
every day.
Right.
I'll eat lunch in front of everybody. I'll wear your attire. Nike, like I'm wearing right now. By the way, Nike, if you want to sponsor, just email us at
Wouldn't that be funny?
heywe'retalking@gmail.com.
That'd be hilarious. If
I
they
would
did
wear, whatever attire was out there that seems to be popular. I'd make some extra money off of it. So at $27,000 will wind up being $2.7 million.
There you go.
And then I'd have a blast doing it.
Yeah. So let me just kind of throw this out there too, since we're talking about Europe real quick. I don't know exactly where she's from, but it's a not Slavic. It's a Nordic country of some kind. You ever heard of Bjork?
Yes.
She is reissuing all of her albums on limited edition colored cassettes. Cassettes are making a comeback, if you can believe it.
Okay.
Cassette tapes.
What's funny is a year on Facebook, about 2-3 days ago, there was a post from a year ago. It was a conversation my daughter and I had, and she's like, "Dad, what's this black box?"
Yes, I remember you talking
and
about that.
I'm like, "This?" She's like, "Yeah, what is it?" I'm like, "This is a cassette." Okay, what is it? And my daughter's 18.
Okay.
17 at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is where music comes from? Like, there's music on here.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't just go, I want to listen to the third song. You have to go.
Or you just have to listen to it. Let's be real.
Right.
Which, go ahead.
I did find I'm a garbage picker and stuff too. I'm one of those weird guys. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
I went garbage picking because I noticed a whole bunch of people, somebody had a box of cassettes that they threw away. So I go looking through all these cassettes, trying to find one gem. And most of it was just garbage.
Okay.
But out of it, I found a AC/DC Highway to Hell cassette and a Led Zeppelin, I think it was Led Zeppelin 2 cassette. If you go on my Instagram, BobWick11, and scroll back a ways, you'll see that I actually posted the cassettes on there.
Just scroll. Eventually you'll get there. You just look through
it was like
all
a year
his pictures.
ago or something.
Are
Last
you really
summer.
active on Instagram?
All the time.
I find myself never going to Instagram. I don't know why.
I'm on Instagram more than I am anything else.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
So I tried to post a photo last night.
Yeah.
But I guess yesterday.
This is
in
like
our world,
a week or so ago. Yeah.
Yes. Yesterday in our world, Facebook and Instagram
WhatsApp
were
and Instagram
shut
were
down.
all kapoosh. Yeah. I kept going to Facebook because, I'm addicted. I'm like one of those mice at the little feeder bar. I kept refreshing and I'm like, what is wrong with Facebook? And then I just went to Twitter and everybody talked about it on Twitter.
Well, I was trying to actually post a picture of whiskey that I was given by Jenny, one of our listeners.
Yeah.
A picture of the whiskey and explain it and all this stuff. And it just would not go through.
What whiskey was it?
It's called Single. Man, see, now I'm not going to remember.
You weren't ready for that.
No.
I totally screwed you on that. Well, while you're looking for that, let me just tell you something because I want to talk about this cassette tape thing for a second. It's very strange to me. I understand the vinyl thing. There's a certain sound, and it's like there's a whole thing you go through, picking up a record and setting it down and putting the needle down on it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like it's cathartic a little bit. The cassette tape and 8-track tapes, I don't fully understand, except for if you're just like, remember when I used to listen to cassette tapes?
But let me ask this. Did you have an 8-track player?
Yeah, when I was a kid, sure. We had one in the van, dude. We had a CB radio and an 8-track, bro.
So you've been to the spot with an 8-track where you're like, just to get it to go back up inside the 8-track.
Yes.
Okay, there's something special about that.
There is.
Cassette tapes. What was cool about cassette tapes is you could record your favorite song off the radio onto your cassette tape and like, man, I've been waiting for this song. And it comes on and you hear it
and you're like,
and you hit record.
You want the guy to stop talking over it and you're like, shut up. And
and you missed like the first 10 seconds of it. You hear your kid brother screaming and then, there's my song. Yeah. There was something special about that.
And I used to also back then, so we would have these. Now, this might be just outside of your time frame. You might remember them, but there were these dual cassette things. And if your buddy was like, his mom and dad let him buy like every single tape that he wanted, you would just get blank cassette tapes and you'd be like, hey, can I borrow your Def Leppard? And you'd put it in there and you could dub it. So you just steal. That was our version of Napster back then. We would just record everybody's music. And the same thing you're talking about. You're sitting at the radio and you're just waiting for this guy to shut up so you can get your favorite song. It was interesting.
And one of the worst feelings in the world is when they tell you, hey, after this break, we're going to come back with this song. And you're like, yes, finally I get to record it.
Yep.
And you're waiting. The commercial ends. And then all of a sudden you hear the song start. And then he's like, okay, folks, we promised you. And we're like, why are you talking over this song?
Shut up, man.
I wanted the beginning of this song. An example like Welcome to the Jungle.
Right.
From GNR.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one way back in the day that I did record on there. And all of a sudden you hear, din, 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 you know how that song starts.
Yeah.
And you got a DJ, at that time it was a DJ,
Yep.
talking over the beginning of the song.
Hey, everybody, guess what? This is the new song from Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the Jungle.
But for Bjork to actually come out, start releasing them again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's millennials are going to catch on. My son has been asking for a Walkman for a while.
I wonder if you can find one cheap, or if now these people understand that people want this stuff, they're going to start charging up the
They're going to be expensive.
Okay. Let me say one thing about the cassette tapes, though, that I do miss. And I don't know if everybody's going to remember this, but there's a smell to a brand new cassette tape. It was a very nice, it was a very pleasant smell. When you opened it up and it was brand new, it had this very, almost kind of like fragrant, fruity, floral smell. I don't know what it was, but
it was actually the smell of the tape.
I'm sure.
You know, that was the smell you're getting, because the rest of it was just a plastic cartridge, which whatever. You're smelling whatever chemical was on the tape, and I don't know if it was necessarily flowers or whatever, but I do understand.
I'm just telling you, it had a nice smell. But the major drawback to cassette tapes, everybody, is they break. Okay.
They eventually wear out.
Yeah, they snap.
If you rewind it and play it too fast, or fast forward it and play it too fast, they'll get tangled up in there.
It's a big
and
mess.
then you pull it out, and it's this mess, and you're like, oh, how am I? But
as long as you have a pencil.
Let me ask this: have you ever fixed a cassette tape?
Of course. I was in the radio business, and when I started out, guess what we used to make commercials? Tape. Real tape.
Yep.
You have to slice it with a little razor blade and use a little piece of tape. So I know exactly what to do. All right, you got one more story, and I want you to be able to get it in before we end the show.
By the way, that whiskey was called Barrel Whiskey.
Okay.
Our listener of the show went down south, Southern Illinois.
Nice.
Happened to go into this store and was able to find this stuff. Pretty expensive, cask strength, and she gave me a sample of it. So
nice.
So a billionaire, mind you, diamond trader, 65 years old, from the UK.
Yeah.
He actually died during a penis enlargement surgery at a private Paris clinic.
Okay.
That's it? It says here he died of a heart attack during a penis enlargement operation. You made it sound like maybe there was something, they botched the penis surgery or something. He just died of a heart attack.
They found a diamond in it.
He just died of a heart attack.
Okay.
It's a statement from the firm. Farewell to a visionary businessman. It is with great sadness that we confirm that our founder, Ehud Arielanido, has passed away.
Yeah, you know what he envisioned?
What?
A bigger
schlong? Apparently.
Yeah. And obviously it didn't work out too well.
Oh my gosh.
65-year-old billionaire. Hopefully he had all his ducks in a row.
What do you... I don't know why that just struck me. It's funny, all of his ducks in a row.
No, like his, where his money's going to go to.
You hope, anyway. What are you doing getting a penis enlargement at 65? Really?
I know. You've been dealing with it for 65 years, dude. What's another 15 more, however old you're going to be?
Listen, God gave you exactly what you need. Just use it to its potential. And if, find somebody that can live with it, I guess.
Some people need things big. Some people don't. Like the New York man who had a 600 square foot apartment.
What are you talking about? Is this another story?
Yeah, real quick.
Do it. Hurry up.
A New York man who owns a 600 square foot apartment received a $38 million electric bill.
Okay, wait a minute. 38
like this
million?
Literally just happened in the next few days. 38
in the next few days?
Actually,
like this is going to happen in the future, and you're predicting
this happened in the last few days.
You said next few days.
His bill was actually $37,974,401.35.
Oh my gosh!
And it said it was due on 3/11.
311. Remember that band?
Yes, I do.
Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your head in the clouds. Okay, go ahead.
Luckily, the issue was resolved. It was just a mistake, and the guy paid his electric bill of $77.14.
Why are businesses do stupid stuff like that? I hate that. Do you know what it's like when you get a bill that's like humongous and you weren't ready for it? Doesn't that bother?
Yeah.
It makes your heart drop.
Yeah, considering my wife's student loans just came back on.
Those are really fun.
We just found out today, and it's due in 14 days.
All right. Yeah, we got a water bill after we got the first water bill since moving back to Michigan, and everything was like normal. And then we got the second one, and I was just like, what? Like my eyes popped out of my head like in a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was terrible. I was not ready for it. Anyway, all right. Before we wrap up the show, before Bob can tell us those transitions are always the best, by the way. Those are so good.
I try to,
you're sitting there thinking about it while I'm talking. You're like, okay, when he says this, I'm going to say, considering a 600 square foot apartment built,
right,
and you're just like, perfect.
Hey, that's an art in itself, man.
It is.
That's part of my dry sense of humor, to try to find those ins in that little spot to just get it right.
I agree.
And who cares if they're corny and cheesy?
No, I love it. I think they're great, man.
Yeah.
We need more drops. We need better drops. I got to get on that. If only I could write them down on something during the show when I think of them.
Yeah, you should get on that, just like our listeners should get on YouTube and subscribe. Ring the bell. Go to our podcast, listen to that. Go to our Facebook page.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's
subscribe
the
on
push.
YouTube. Hit the bell. Ding.
Then you'll know when
this
comes out.
Ding, though.
No, but it asks you, do you want to know every time they put a video out?
Heck yeah, baby.
Subscribe on YouTube, though. Trust me. There's something, it's worth it. There are things that happen that you get to see the faces, you get to see the stuff going on. Subscribe on YouTube.
I get the little bing as soon as Hot Ones releases a new episode. They just sent me one today. Shaq on Hot Ones.
That was 2 weeks ago. That was great.
I've not watched it yet.
Oh my gosh!
As of this recording, but I just because I hit that little bell, all of a sudden, ding!
Yep.
Hot Ones, new episode. Shaq Fu. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that, and then all of a sudden, we'll pop up. Hey guys, new episode.
Yeah.
You'll be like, yes.
And go to Facebook, like our page, get involved. Like I said, we're going to try to get into more communication with you guys. And I burped. And go ahead.
When you order your Numa coffee and you get it in the mail, take a picture of it, put it on Instagram, tag us on Instagram, because we're on Instagram too.
That's a great idea.
So, yeah, you could do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yes, and if there's things you just want to tag us in, funny things or funny stories or something, do it.
Why not?
Why not?
Respond. Have fun with it.
Share it.
Yeah.
We're in. And share the show with your friends.
Whoa, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, share the show with your friends.
Goodness.
People are doing it, and it's catching on. It's a new thing. Sharing the show with your friends, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It'll make you popular in certain circles. So
totally
do that. All right, we're going to let you go. But on Monday, Derek Tant will be back with us, and we'll be going over his vacation because guaranteed Derek's got some great stories. He always comes back.
He actually had a visit with one of our listeners.
I thought he wasn't going to do that. He did?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he lies.
So we'll find out who that listener is on Monday.